So welcome. In this video, which is sort of like a part 3, it can certainly be a standalone practice, but I've been working on creating videos for the yamas and niyamas. So today we'll be working with one of the niyamas, tapas. Tapas is one of my favorites. It means burning enthusiasm or discipline. Without this burning enthusiasm, this discipline to get on the mat and practice yoga in the world, there would be no yoga. And then we'll be working also with one of the yamas, asteya, non-stealing. We'll contemplate non-stealing, how we can steal from ourselves, from our own well-being, from others, from the world, from the earth. But we'll also work on the flip side of that, the more affirmative side, which is generosity. So in a general sense, we'll be inhaling tapas, this lightness, this burning enthusiasm, and we'll be exhaling asteya, or non-stealing generosity. So let's begin. We're going to begin, as always, generally speaking, lying down on our backs in our alternate rest pose. So lying back onto your back, getting comfortable. Perhaps your knees draw a little bit closer. Your feet get a little bit wider. Your arms rest by your sides. And just taking a moment to check in with this body, this mind, this heart. The level of enthusiasm that you step on the mat with, no judgment. And perhaps if you feel comfortable as we begin to deepen our breath, you place your hands right on your solar plexus, which is kind of the very top of the ribs. The solar plexus in yoga always reminds me of tapas. It's this place where we cultivate self-esteem. It's associated with the color yellow. So take a moment to breathe deeply into your solar plexus, like you're breathing in this quality of tapas. Our breath provides the fuel to build a little bit of heat, just a little bit. Intensity, focus. Allow yourself to be completely full of breath and allow yourself to empty. Maybe the belly draws in a bit. Breathing in this yellow sunshine quality, or like a flame of tapas. And then maybe that we've cultivated a little bit of tapas, you place one hand on your solar plexus and one hand onto your own heart, starting to cultivate the quality of asteya, non-stealing. So inhale tapas, this enthusiasm. Exhale, let it flood up into your heart and all around your heart as you soften your shoulder blades. Inhale, enthusiasm. Exhale, non-stealing, generosity. Stay with that. You can keep your hands wherever wherever they feel comfortable, you can let them rest, but stay with that intensity of your breath. Inhaling tapas, you showed up, enthusiasm. Exhaling all negative self-talk, the ways that we steal from our own self-worth. And I'd like to just open with this reading from Living Your Yoga, Finding the Spiritual in Everyday Life by Judith Lassiter. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali describes discipline, or tapas, in the first book, verse 12. The restrictions of these fluctuations is achieved through practice and dispassion. To elaborate on this yoga teaching, of the state in which fluctuations of the mind are resolved, can be achieved by practice or discipline and detachment. Discipline is truly expressed in our intention to stay present in each moment, which also helps us to not steal from the present moment. From this viewpoint, all of life is practice. Practice is not about what you get, it's about what you give. Whether you are driven or resistant, the medicine is the same. Do what is truly possible with unwavering commitment to giving yourself to the moment. Without this intention, practice becomes another task to be completed, and it loses its ability to transform. And transformation, or freedom, is the reason for all discipline. So just take a moment to really seal in your personal intention for practice. Maybe it is just this quality of discipline, being enthusiastic for your practice, for your life. Or maybe you lean a little bit more towards non-stealing, being fully present, or generous. So if one little snippet there speaks to you, and really seal it in as your intention. So to begin our physical practice, just align your feet now underneath your knees. Little disclosure, I've been on the other end probably of a little creakiness in my back. So I'm going to be practicing non-stealing for my own health and well-being by bringing in some movements that are really gentle on the back. So sometimes you think of tapas as lots of sun salutations and lots of heat, but we're going to cultivate our heat in a little bit more controlled way. So again, the feet are underneath the knees, the hands are down by the sides. We'll begin with just simple pelvic tilts. So as you inhale, lift the belly, roll the palms up. Inhale, tapas enthusiasm. Exhale, press the palms down, press the belly, the back down. Asteya, non-stealing. Inhale, flip palms, lift belly, tapas. Exhale, roll palms down, press belly, asteya, non-stealing. Keep it going with your own breath. Soften your face, your jaw. Really feel into your breath, feel into your body. Remember, with asteya, we're working on not stealing from ourselves, from this present moment. So just really allow yourself to move into present moment awareness without thinking about what's coming next. Just meeting every moment as it is. So when that feels complete, just normalize your pelvis. Take a full breath or two. And we'll be working to cultivate a little bit of heat, a little bit of that tapas quality, but nice and gently. So let's continue to warm up. Next, exhale, draw your right knee in towards your chest. Firm your belly, press into the left foot. Inhale, set it down with control. Exhale, left knee comes in, hug in, draw that belly down. Keep it going your way. Inhaling, finding the energy, tapas. Exhale, not stealing from this moment. Again, take the focus to discipline to focus on your core muscles here. Don't check out. Stay right here with your core. And when that feels complete, hug both knees in. And just a nice gentle warm up for the low back, maybe circling the knees. Continue to breathe deeply, relax shoulders, jaw. Practicing generosity and a little kindness with this body, not stealing from it. And then set the legs down. Forget to mention, for this practice, we definitely need one yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a book or a pillow. So let's actually start. Let's start with the block the medium way. I'm going to put it between the inner thighs. The feet are still underneath the knees. The hands are down by the sides. So this is some nice, gentle tapas, heat building. We can place our hands on our belly so we know we're engaging those muscles. So take a full sunshiny tapas building inhale. Exhale, squeeze the block with the inner thigh, squeeze the belly in. Inhale, fueling. Exhale, evenly press into the feet, asteya, not stealing from this moment. We're fully present. And we're practicing in a way that's generous and kind to our bodies. Keep it going. So when that feels complete, keep your feet right where they are. Make sure your feet are underneath your knees, your hands under by your sides. We're going to move into bridge pose, so kind of strengthening the back chain of the body. So evenly press into your feet, engage with that block. Inhale, lift the hips up. And it doesn't have to be your biggest bridge, we're just warming up. So inhale, fill the chest, the belly with that tapas, that brightness. Exhale, lightly squeeze the block. Feel elongation out through the thighs. Strength in your core, all the way around. Not just the front of our core, the back of our core. Inhaling tapas, exhaling asteya. Not stealing from ourselves, we're fully present. And if this position is too much, we modify, we lower, we rest. Whenever you're ready, slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time. Release your block. Roll the palms up. Take a moment to just notice the after effects of those movements, any subtle little heat. The power of your breath. and your intention to stay present. So now let's draw the knees back into the chest. This time setting up for maybe just another little up level on our core work. So if this level feels like too much for your low back, you can start with that first one. Just drawing one knee in and then the other. So if you feel okay here, you want to find your knees maybe over your hips, flex your feet. Hands are down by the sides. Actually, keeping the hands on the belly can be a good reminder that we're recruiting these belly muscles, not using momentum or straightening the back here. So next, inhale, tap your left toe down. Exhale, use those core muscles to draw you in. Inhale, tap the right toe down. Exhale, come back in. Keep it going. Slow and mindful. Inhaling, feeling into the core, that level of tapas, enthusiasm, strength. As we exhale, we focus on being present, not stealing. We even steal from our well-being when we don't fully inhale and fully exhale. So can we also focus on that? Allow the breath to move your body. And when that feels complete, give yourself another little hug. Set the legs down. And take a moment to notice. Sometimes we're in such a rush to move on to the next thing, Again, we're stealing from ourselves because we don't allow the full presence of being to come into our lives. And then widen your feet out. Just a little gentle windshield wiper action. Maybe take those arms up into a T shape to feel openness across your chest. That quality of generosity to yourself by allowing yourself the time to cultivate your practice, your discipline. The generosity to practice in a way that's just right for you. So when that feels complete, you can take another full breath. And we'll prepare to transition. So gently rolling to either side. We're going to find our way into our table position. So aligning your shoulders over your wrists, the knees as wide as the hips. We're going to come into table in preparation for our cat and cow. If you have that block handy, we're going to set the block in between the inner thighs to help us to remember this quality of tapas and moving from our core. Let's take an inhale, lift the heart, lift the tail. Exhale, arch the spine, squeeze that block. Squeeze the belly in. Keep it going. Inhale, feel a brightness come across your heart, generosity. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, the brightness of tapas, enthusiasm. Exhale, asteya, non-stealing. So when that feels complete, you can release your block. And I set myself up in a small little corner of the house here, so I'm going to turn to face you so I have a little more room. We're gonna take another kind of straight building, tapas building movement. So to your tolerance, extend your left leg back behind you. Flex that foot. Feel again you're moving from your center, this core. And then if it feels okay, reach the right hand forward. Breathe in deeply. I think you can probably see if I'm just staying right here. This might demonstrate the pose a little more. So as you inhale, inhale length, brightness, tapas. Exhale, not stealing by being fully present. Not stealing by coming out of the pose if it's too much. But if you can, just build a little bit of heat here. And release it. And we'll take it to the other side. So extend your right leg back, get nice and grounded. Firm your belly. Again, moving from your center, you might stay right here, or you could reach the left hand forward. Inhale, tapas, enthusiasm. Exhale, asteya, non-stealing. Maybe that means you take a child's pose. Your practice. Breathe fully. And focus. When you're ready, which you probably are, let it go. And just allow yourself to melt back into child's pose. Maybe your knees are as wide as your mat, your toes touch. Hips move back. And just surrender into your child's pose. You can bring a block underneath your forehead if you need that support. Our minds wander, that's just what our minds do. But can we really use this as a time to practice discipline? Without judgment, without stealing from our own well-being, but stay with that focus. Inhaling, let it be so full and bright, tapas. Exhaling, melt like you're melting into the earth, like you love her, non-stealing. And whenever you're ready, come back to your table. We'll be coming up into downward facing dog. So you can spread those fingers, tuck those toes. Move in with an exhale. Again, feeling the strength at your core. Feeling evenness in your body. Again, stay not stealing. If you're not feeling a downward facing dog, stay in child's pose. Allow your body to open and move as it should. Keep lifting that belly up and back. Softening around the shoulders, the head. And whenever you're ready, walk those feet forward. We're going to slowly roll on up. Coming into our mouth pose, maybe feet are as wide as your hips. If it serves you, once again, you could place your hands onto your solar plexus as you stand a little taller. Inhale into that power center, tapas. Exhale, maybe you slide your other hand to your heart. Feel that quality of generosity. Inhaling brightness, enthusiasm. Exhaling generosity. We've showed up on our mats to care for ourselves. So now we're able to be a little bit more generous into the world. you're ready, take your hands to your heart. Widen your feet just a little bit. So, to me, this little arm salutation, so to speak, really speaks of tapas. Sometimes I call this volcano breath. So inhale, reach your hands up to the sky in prayer like a volcano. Exhale, let it all go. So again, inhale, maybe visualize a flame or a fire like tapas. Exhale, generosity, non-stealing. Keep it flowing with your own breath. This time to come up into your volcano arms. Take a little twist to the right. Exhale, send a little generosity out to the right. Inhale up, tapas. Exhale, send a little generosity twist to the left. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, twist right. Draw that belly back. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale, twist left. Draw navel in. Bring it back all the way up now and to your heart center. Just take a breath to observe. And I'm going to move into some lateral side bending in maybe a unique way. So take your hands behind your head. This is embodying that quality of generosity. So lift that heart, but try not to overarch in your low back. So the tailbone is still down, the belly is in. We're just creating this little itty bitty lift in the heart. And then we'll move with our breath. So next exhale, reach the left hand to the sky. We take a little compression here on the right. Inhale up. Exhale, reach to the right. Little compression on the left. Keep it going. And have a little softness in your knees. Inhale, lift, tapas. Exhale, send to either side, a little generosity. Again, we're even being generous with our bodies by inviting all these different movements of the spine. And hold to one side. It's almost like you're falling back into the support of your hand behind your head. Compressing a little bit on one side, elongating on the other. More spaciousness, more tapas right there. And then come back and take it to the other side. Again, all the while that tailbone is a little heavy, the belly is drawing in. Breathe that sunshine into your body. Exhale, send it out. Come back to center. Let it go. Roll the shoulders. Just take a moment to observe any sensations. And we'll move into one more twist. So for this twist, check your clearance. But we can place our hand once again into the solar plexus area. So standing tall, moving with discipline, with focus, with tapas, but also non-stealing, generosity. When that feels complete, slow it down and just observe that subtle quality of heat. So let's take one sun salutation. going to skip them all together, but for me, sun salutations really embody this quality of tapas. So we'll take one round around the sun. So come to the top of your mat, standing in your mountain. Inhale, reach for sky. Exhale, fold to earth. Take your halfway lift. Feel the strength of your core. Touch the earth and step back with your left foot. So we're coming into our lunge. We're going to take this nice and gentle. We can take our hands to that thigh. And then inhale your arms up to the sky, tapas. Exhale, take those cactus arms, a little bit of generosity around your heart. So inhale, tapas. Maybe a little heat into that left psoas. Exhale, generosity. Keep going with your own breath. Now hold here. Find your shoulders right over your hips. And we could take the gentlest of a twist. So first inhale, get even taller. Exhale, twist with your upper body to the left. So keeping your cactus arms. Breathe. Take it back to center. Get even taller and twist to the right. So getting kind of an open and a closed twist here. Breathe. Come back to center. Relax those arms. Maybe sweep them back up to the sky. Touch your mat. Take the right knee to meet the left. And we're going to lower all the way down onto our bellies. Just a mini sun salutation. So hands under the shoulders, tops of the feet, rooting back. Inhale, glide that heart forward like sunshine, kissing it, a little bit of tapas. Exhale, tap your forehead down, non-stealing. Inhale, lift up to your degree, tapas. Exhale, asteya. Just a few more times. Really focusing on the fullness of your breath. Embodying these qualities. And when that feels complete, press your body up. And your choice. You can take a down dog or you can take a tapas pose, whatever's calling to you right now. Stay with the rhythm of your breath. The discipline of staying focused. Whenever you're ready, come to your table, and this time we'll step the right foot forward. Left foot forward. Speaking of focus. Sometimes I get so in the moment of where I'm at, I kind of forget what's coming next. So rise on up. Yeah, body memory. Here we are in our lunge. Inhale, reach up. Tapas. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, tapas. Exhale, asteya. Generosity. Maybe feel that little bit of heat in your right psoas, your right thigh. Come back to center. Keep your cactus arms. Again, shoulders over hips, belly nice and firm. First we'll take our open twist and twist to the right. Breathe your way. Come back to center and then twist to the left. Only as far as your body guides you into, still keeping a nice long spine feeling. A little bit of tapas, a little bit of heat in your belly. Come back to center, relax those arms. Maybe inhale up, exhale, touch your mat, and we'll just take our right foot to meet the left. So completing that slow little turn around the sun. We'll rise on up, inhale, exhale. You can continue to take that mudra, hand on solar plexus, hand on heart if that serves you throughout our practice. Just take a moment to observe. Relax those arms. So now we're going to take kind of some atypical, I guess, warrior and triangle pose. These are geared a little bit more towards strengthening, building a little bit of tapas as opposed to moving into a flexibility. Oh, before we do that, to really get the fire going, let's take our block and put it between the inner thighs. It's kind of a little prep for the next couple poses. So we're going to do some chair pose. And when I think of tapas, I think of chair pose. So start by just engaging maybe the quads, squeezing the block, pulling up on the pelvic floor. And then when you're ready, we'll sink into our chair. Sit the hips back. Start by taking the hands forward. Roll the shoulders back. Feel the strength of your core. Can we take 3 breaths? Bring in a little Ujjayi breathing. Listen to your breath. Feel a little more heat. Squeeze the block. And then if it serves you, reach the hands up to the sky. Maybe sit just a little deeper. Again, listening to your body here in your chair. 3 deep breaths. And then take those cactus arms. Think of these cactus arms as a little sign of generosity. Maybe sit a little deeper. Evenly press into both feet. Squeeze that block. 3 full breaths. Listen to the fire within. And when you're ready, rise up. Let it go. So release your block. And once again, just take a moment to feel. Feel that little bit of heat wherever you feel it. Heat does bring that quality of transformation. Maybe it's just helping us successfully transform one moment to the next with generosity, without stealing. Okay. So from here, we're going to come into those kind of atypical warriors. So step a little forward with your right foot, back with your left. So we're on the ball on the back foot, and we have a much shorter stance than we usually would. This is more of a functional type fitness type warrior. So hands on your hips to help guide you and help you find your balance. Breathe. We might start with just a subtle tilt of the spine, but still keeping the crown of the head reaching away from the tailbone. Take 3 deep breaths right here. Listen to the breath. Ujjayi breathing. And then bring those hands forward. This will encourage us to draw the navel in a little bit more. Maybe you imagine you can pull your mat away from each other with your 2 feet. This will actually help turn on the front hamstring a little bit more than the quad. Only if it serves you. Building a little intensity. And then if it serves you, reach those hands to the sky. 3 deep breaths. Again, belly in, tailbone heavy. You can imagine you're drawing your mat away from each other, the 2 ends. That was about 3 breaths. Now take your cactus arms. Soften the face and breathe. Focus, discipline. Relax those arms. I'm just going to pivot so you can see me a little better, but you're going to come forward and cross your left leg over your right. So this is a variation of eagle pose, but without any striving. So imagine you can knit your legs together, sit down. So again, tailbone is heavy, belly is drawing in. So this is the foundation almost of our chair pose. And then in eagle pose, often we curl the arms and we curl in on ourselves. Let's do it this way. Open that heart in generosity. You can join your thumb and your pointer finger, this prana mudra, lifting your heart, but sitting in. Just 3 deep breaths. A little bit of tapas in those inner thighs. Ready, unravel. So take a moment to just breathe here, to observe, again, the heat coming up, but in ways that aren't stealing, that aren't too intense or too subtle, not engaged enough. So we steal from our practice by not coming to that middle ground, so to speak. So relax those hands, and we'll do that on the other side. So I think I'll turn the other way and step back with the left foot, so my right leg is in front. Hopefully, you know, I'm a little right-left challenge. Hopefully we're getting both sides in. Trust your body. So coming to that shorter stance here, again, if we go too far, then we're going for flexibility, we're going for strength. So hands on the hips, reach the crown away from the hips. Breathe. 3 full breaths. Building that tapas, that intensity, that discipline, that fire. And then take your hands forward, belly drawing in. 3 full breaths. Ujjayi breathing. Listen to the intensity of your breath without it being overly forceful. Feel like you're drawing your mat away from each other to engage your hamstring. Then float your hands to the sky if that serves you. Staying stable in the lower body and the breath. Again, like you're ripping your mat in 2, engaging that front hamstring. And then take your cactus arms, generosity, full breath. And maybe the most generous thing for you to do would be to step forward and rest, or take 2 more breaths. Relax those arms. I'm going to turn towards you, but you can just cross your left leg over your right to take this eagle pose on this side. So again, knit your legs together, hands on the hips. Tailbone heavy, belly drawing in. And take your gesture of generosity, arms out to the side, your prana mudra, your heart lifting as your hips sink a little more. Inhaling tapas, exhaling generosity. When you're ready, let it go. Give everything a little shake. And take a moment to observe. Beautiful. So just one more little standing pose sequence. Let's start maybe to the right edge of our mat. Take the left leg forward, point the toes. So this is like a triangle pose, but we're making it much smaller than we usually would. Again, if we keep the poses more small, more contained, we're building towards strength rather than flexibility. So start with your hands on your hips. Again, the left toe points forward, the right heel might be back a little bit. So we get nice strong legs, press into your mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, relax. Next inhale tilts you into your triangle with no striving. Exhale, use these core muscles to take you back to center. So inhale, we tip to our degree. Exhale, use core muscles to take you back up. Keep it going. You could stay here, or to intensify, you could take those generous arms and heart here. Inhale, tip. Exhale, come back to center. Keep it going. Again, not forcing, not striving, just finding just the right amount of tapas intensity. Next time, hold. You might stay here, or you might just let your arms come loose and be free. Still using all those core muscles here, but feeling that expression of open arms, generosity, no stealing. Come back to neutral, square off the toes, and we'll just take that to the other side. So now the right toe points straight ahead, left heel comes back. Again, even me, I'm finding my urge to strengthen out that, lengthen out that stride, but keep it nice and contained. Firm into the feet. Hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, stay. Inhale, tip to the right. Exhale, use those belly muscles to take you back to center. Inhale, tip just to your degree. Exhale, engage. So many ways to use those transverse abdominals, the core. Take your hands to your head if that serves you. Next, inhale, tip. Exhale, strength of your core, press of your feet takes you back to center. Keep moving with your breath. And then maybe we hold and stay, and arms just free, legs strong. Again, you might have the sensation you're ripping your mat apart with your feet. Tapas, heat, non-stealing. Come back to center. Turn the toes out slightly. So one more standing pose here. So we're going to do just kind of a flowing goddess. So let's come into it by taking those temple arms. Inhale up. Exhale, flow down, kind of like that volcano arm movement. Inhale, feel that flame, that fire of tapas. Exhale, coming down in generosity. This pose embodies the archetype of feminine energy, maybe even the very generous quality of giving birth, not just to children, but to our best selves. For everything to work through us, not in our time, but divine time. So when that feels complete, come back to neutral, toe heel your feet in a little bit. And just take a moment again to observe. Observe yourself standing here in your own power, cultivating a lifestyle that is healthy, abundant, and generous, not just for yourself, but for this world. So preparing to slow things down a little bit, come back maybe towards the top of your mat. Inhale up, exhale, fold. We can come into our tabletop for a moment. Maybe you rock those hips a bit from side to side, just freeing the back a bit. Maybe it would feel good to come a little closer to the earth one more time in child's pose. Deep breath, just embodying these qualities. Maybe come back to your first word that you chose for an intention. Maybe that's morphed a little bit for you. Just observe. To your table and either come to seated, or if it's comfortable for you to take hero's pose, kind of sitting on your heels, you can either sit on a block, a blanket, or you can be sitting in cross-legged if that's more healthy for your knees. Again, not stealing. And let's just take a moment of stillness here. Inhaling, lifting that heart, feeling the fullness of showing up for yourself with tapas, burning enthusiasm. Exhaling, asteya, generosity. So again, we do the work on ourselves, this tapas, so we can better serve ourselves, our families, and this world. So we inhale, cultivate that self-care. What do we need to do to optimize our self-care? Exhale, share it. Don't steal it. Be a little bit more generous. A little less guarded with your heart, your time. Inhale, of you see that flame, that fire. And exhale, let that fire spread into your own heart. Softness. Mind wanders, just come back to your focus, inhaling flame, your fire, your dedication, your discipline. Exhaling generosity. You might choose to hit the pause button and just linger there in your meditation a little longer, or if you're ready to move on, you still want to find a block or pillow. We're just going to come down onto our backs for some inversions. I think inversions are an essential part of our practice these days. So let's come right into supported bridge pose. So you want your block or your bolster ready. If you need any neutralizing in your hips, I just pressed into my feet. I did the mini bridge and that just neutralized my pelvis. You could certainly do that. Hug the knees in. Any neutralizing movements you might need. Maybe rocking the knees. And then whenever you're ready, you can come into that bridge pose. So supported bridge pose, you can use the block on the lowest setting, maybe the medium setting, and practicing generosity, non-stealing. For some people this might be too much. So that would be the cue to lower it down. Stealing from yourself, particularly at this time in our practice when we're winding down. So find that right on the sacrum. To me, this provides just a little tractioning effect that can feel really good on my side joint area. So the feet, the knees tracking straight ahead, the arms by the sides. If you've got clearance, you could take your arms in cactus or over your head. Whatever serves you. Inhaling brightness, tapas. Exhaling generosity. Stay with the discipline. Acknowledging any fluctuations of the mind, coming back to the fluctuation of just the breath. Either stay right here, in any way, or if you're feeling a little deeper inversion, make sure you're comfortable. Extend the legs up to the sky. Hands wherever they feel guided to be. And you could be guided to be back in your bridge pose or any other shapes. See if you can extend those arms out to the sides in any gesture to still cultivate that openness across your heart, this quality of generosity. Candlestick Pose. Exhaling generosity, softening across your shoulders, your heart. That feels complete to you. Go nice and slow and easy. And press into your feet to lift the hips if your block was still there. Lower that tailbone down nice and slow. Maybe rock your knees from side to side. And any closing movements that would be just right for your body. Maybe you would like one more generous hug, tucking the knees in. And then whenever you're ready, setting yourself up for Shavasana. Bringing in whatever props that serve you. You could place your bolster under your thighs. If you're in a situation like myself, sometimes it can feel nice to take your legs up the couch. It'll be really soothing for the low back. But find your way into a place of rest. Allowing yourself to integrate. Maybe you still feel that little bit of heat of tapas. But this time it's coming from within you. Not an outside source at all. Give yourself permission to be generous with yourself and allow yourself rest. And as you continue to linger in Shavasana and rest, I'd like to leave you with a poem. And this is from Donna Fowles from her book, The Breath of Joy. Really allow the back of your heart to melt as you let these words just wash over you. And this poem is called Love Life. Love life, the sheer adventure of sailing into the unknown. I'm not speaking here only of the bone and flesh life, the visible and material. Love the inner life too, the life of spirit, joy, and wisdom. Fully inhabit this temple of the body, yes, and also claim the mystery of the unmanifest. The two together weaving a seamless whole that clothes you in light. Love this life, not some imaginary future when all of your problems have been solved, all of your rough edges sanded smooth. Love this life with its impossible demands, open to its many gifts, investigating whether they seem like boundaries are really there at all. Open to its many gifts, investigating whether what seems like boundaries are really there at all. Maybe your true nature is vast, beyond measure, and the opportunity to know yourself inside and out is worth more than any treasure. Linger here in Shavasana. Take rest, my friends. We need the tapas, the enthusiasm. But we also need the non-duality.